Right, so what is up, YouTube fam? That Neon Channel here, back at it again with another video. So, I've introduced you to the PT Cruiser, the turbo build for the winter. This is going to be the Ricer turbo build. This is going to be a straight Vice rocket from hell. So, we're going to do all kinds. If you got any ideas you want me to do, or you want to send stuff to do to the Ricer build, let me know, and I will open up a P.O. box. I'm honestly just going to take, if I can afford it, any advice on stupid shit that I can do to make it look, goofy but cool. I want it to look cool, but I want it to be rice cool, because I like some kind of rice. So I'm thinking about putting some wheel spacers on here, stretching the wheel out, finding some like cheap eBay wheel flares, putting some wheel flares on there. I really want to put some bozos sticking out the back. I don't know whether I want to do dual bozos or just dual setup on one side, two duals, or just one bozo. I have one, a fan that's going to give me one. He's actually local. He said he got it for me, so I'm going to stick that on here. That'll be like the first thing. Probably going to tint the taillights or something. Not sure what else I'm going to do yet, but first thing we're going to start with is a cheap eBay blow-off valve. So I got this blow-off valve. I got in a trade for something, I forget. Oh, when I traded my SRT trains, I got this blow-off valve, a big front mount intercooler. I got like $800 and a couple carbon fiber hood and carbon fiber trunk. So we're gonna take this blow-off valve and put it on here, but the SRT4s are kind of weird. To do that, on the back of the turbo, you can see there's the turbo. There's this little, it's like a relief valve. It's like a blow-off valve kinda. Mopar sells a little plate. You can just take that off and put it on there, and it makes the blow-off sounds, but we're gonna stick it right here. So we're gonna have to pop these two rings off. They're not too hard, they just like pull back or some shit like that, but you have to block that off down there to put a blow-off valve up here. So luckily I have a stock turbo housing that has a bolt broken off inside, and I'm going to use this to trace out my template. I have a piece of plate steel right here. I don't know that I'm going to use this because it's kind of thick, so it's going to be hard to cut through, but this is ideal because it's nice and thick and it probably won't leak. So I already did it, but what you're going to want to do is, I don't know how you would do this from the bottom, or how it would be. Oh, you could probably just take that little relief valve off and trace it. So that's how you can do it for yourself. I just took the turbo, I stuck it on here like so, and I traced it out. So as you can see, I put that corner there. I tried to make it to like, where I had to cut the least amount possible. So you can see I traced my line out. Goes all the way around, and now all I gotta do is cut that out, drill 3 holes in it, and then remove that and remount it. Those bolts are a pain in the ass to get out. I'll let you know that right fucking now. They are a pain in the ass. So after we get that removed, we'll get this cut out, and then we'll remove that, and then we'll bolt that on there, and then we'll remove this to install the blow-off valve. But while we're at it, we'll probably remove the battery, and then the mount that the battery sits on, because I know my last PT Cruiser, from acid leaking, which you can see a little bit of acid that leaked right there, ate through the intercooler piping and gave it one hell of a boost leak. So it had a lot of power with the boost leak, but once I fixed the boost leak, the saying, my other one ran like a rape date, and it had way more miles than this one. My other one had like close to 300,000. This one has like 200,000, which is still high, but it should have a little bit more oomph in it. It also needs motor mounts. Either the fan that's going to give me the bozo also has an insert, but the bottom one's going to need done anyways. So I was going to probably try to make a video of how to make your own polyurethane motor mount inserts, just filling them with polyurethane. But for now, we're going to try to cut this out, and once I get that cut out, we'll start working on trying to remove that relief valve back there, and then installing our blow-off valve and installing that. And maybe we can hear some whoosh whoosh noises tonight. So this might be a 2-part. We're going to try to do it one, but I'm going to cut this out, and once I get that cut out, I'll be right back. Alright, boys and girls, so we cut our piece out. There's the leftover. And here's our little mock-up piece. I'm not going to drill the holes until I take the diverter piece off so I can use it, because like I said, one of these holes is broken off. I mean, the bolt's broken off in there. Haven't been able to get it out yet, but you can see it's all I needed to do. Nothing pretty, but it works, you know. I'm just going to fucking put some silicone like they did, unless, yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a gasket because it's a little rubber thing. And I'm gonna gasket seal that bitch on here, and it's gonna be done. And then we're gonna have a block off plate for our turbo. So, time to try to take the diverter thing off. If one feels too tight, I'm either gonna try to put heat to it, because last time one of them broke off, and I had to vice grip that bitch, and vice grips went with that fucking turbo, unfortunately. But we're going to try not to do that this time. They're 10 millimeters. We're going to try to pop them out of there and stick our little block off plate on there. So let me get a 10 millimeter and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to move a couple things out of the way. First, I'm going to remove the intake, which is, you just take that screw head off right there. And we're going to pop this intake out of the way. I'm also going to take it apart right here so I can pop this thing off, just to make my life look easier. Maybe not. We'll see. I know I'm definitely taking that tube off, so after I get that off, I'll be right back. Alright, so we moved the intake off there. Like I said, just moved that bolt, and there's a little plug that goes in here. This line, you just want to pop that out. Move it out of the way for now. Try not to break it, because it's hard to find parts for this shit. Try to move our fuse box out of the way, which is 2 tabs right here and here, and then we can pull it up out of the way. Make sure. It's been a minute. It's probably got those stupid little push pins on the bottom too. And let me pop those little push pins out of the way, and I'll be right back. There's actually an 8mm on the back. You can see right there. You gotta take that thing out real quick. Well, as you can see, I got fucked. Bullshit, because these screws are only like a half fucking centimeter long. Like, look. What it looks like. Here's what fucking happened. Same one as the last fucking car. See how much snapped off in there? Luckily, it's level. And I don't have a fucking piece of metal sticking out of there. I didn't use heat because I fucking couldn't get heat back here anyways. The other two I got lucky because I went to go loosen and then I tightened and loosened and tightened, loosened and tightened. I tried to do that with the last one all the way, this one right there at the bottom, and it didn't work. It just fucking snapped. So we're going to do the same thing I did with the last PT Cruiser, Turbo, whatever the fuck. We're just going to put a pair of vice grips on that bottom one, and we'll just go buy a cheap pair of vice grips that we don't really care about. We'll snap them on there, put a fucking zip tie on the handle so it doesn't come apart, and that's just going to be our bolt, you know. That's what I did last time. It lasted the whole time I had the car, never had an issue, so that's how we're going to fix that. So now that we got this piece of shit diverter valve off, we're going to stick it on that piece of metal I cut, and we're going to make our holes, drill our holes out, and then we're going to stick our fucking plate on there and have a block off plate. So let me find a Sharpie. I'm going to trace these holes out, and then I'm going to drill them out, and I'll be right back. Guys, so we got our plate cut out. Right here we go. We got the holes drilled. We're going to leave this side not drilled because we're just going to vice grip it and I don't want it to leak anyways. I took the old diverter valve, the rubber inside, and I cut it out, and this is going to be my gasket instead of filling that shit with RTV and sucking in my turbo or some shit. So right now I'm just going to start these 2 bolts with the plate on there, and then I'm going to slide the gasket in from the bottom, tighten them down, and then put the vice grips I have for now on there, which I'm definitely not leaving those because they're really nice. But it's just going to be temporarily until I can buy a pair of cheap, you know, Harbor Freight or something. So, be right back once I get that. Alright guys, so we got the 2 bolts in. The gasket's between there. I don't know if you guys can see or tell. There's a gasket in between there. And you can see we got our vice grips on there. I'm going to zip tie the handle closed so the bitch don't fall off. But she's on there. And she's going to work for the time being until I get a cheaper one. Now I gotta pop this piece off and install our blow-off valve, And probably just bypass this for now, but sooner or later I'll have to drill a hole in here, put a grommet on it, and reinstall our whatever it is, inlet air pressure or whatever that stupid thing is. I just want to hear whoosh whoosh tonight. So after I get those stupid couplings off, I think you just slide them to the side and they pop off, I'm pretty sure. If worse comes to worse, I'll fucking cut the stupid things off, but I'm going to try to reuse them, so see you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you real quick. It wasn't this way, it's this way. You just push it hard enough and then it pops off. And now you have access to pull that off. Same with this side, just pull it that way. So after I get that off, I'll be back. After you get those couplings out of the way, the silicone tubes come off just like any other one. If you need some help, put a flat-headed screwdriver underneath this and pry it this way, and same thing with that, pry it that way. Now we're going to disconnect our inlet air temperature sensor, or whatever the fuck it is, just by pushing this little red tab up. Couldn't do it with my fingers, so using the power of a screwdriver. So we got it up, and you just pop it off there, and move this thing out of the way. And now lay it to the side, take our super cool blow-off valve and jam it in there. And we might try to reuse these little clamp thingy-majigs. We might not. We'll see. I'll be right back. Right, so we did reuse these hose things. I don't know how well they're going to be. They seem fine right now. Probably replace it with some regular T-clamps or hose clamps anyways. But now what we need to do is hook our vacuum lines up, which there's 2 of them. You have to bear with me because I don't know which one goes where, but we're just going to try. We're just going to stick that one there, even though it don't fit for shit. And then we got to get this other one from down here. And I'm pretty sure this one goes up there. I'm pretty sure I need to extend it too, or just remove it from this coating. Just want to remove this tape. Once I get that hooked up, I'll be back. Sorry, the tape's over here, not over here. Be right back. Alright, and I think now we're ready to start it, so let's see what we got. Everything's hooked up except for this sensor right here. I'm not going to put the intake back on yet. I want to feel the turbo. There's no shaft play at all with that turbo, dude. That turbo must be like still fresh. I wish it was a big turbo though, or a big wheel. Alright, let's start it up and see what we can get any whoosh whoosh noise. So. Let's soften this thing up a little bit. This thing's not even opening up. I blew that line off first off. Oh, I actually took it off, sorry. I lied. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Block it off real quick, see if that makes any difference. I'll be right back. Guys, so actually the line from the turbo blow-off valve goes to the top one right here. And let's show you. Yeah, now we got whoosh whoosh noises. That's pretty cool. It's kind of late, so I'm not going to do that much more, but there we go. Blow-off valve installed. So if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a thumbs up. If you got any questions or comments, put them down in the comment section. And if you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you ain't following us on Instagram, go follow us on Instagram. There will be our Instagram names down in the description below. Send me pictures and videos of your car to jsulik420@gmail.com, and there will be a thing down in the description so you guys can get it in case I said it wrong, because I'm kind of tired. But yeah, I enjoyed making this video. If you have any ideas for the racer build, if you want me to open up a P.O. box so you can help with the racer build, let me know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the whoosh whoosh noise. Sounds pretty cool, especially with that turbo flutter. We could put like a fucking duck call or something on there. I also want to change this intake manifold top because I have one I wired wheeled and did real nice. I might paint it and then stick it on here. And then I have my green SRT valve cover I'm going to stick on here. I might just paint them both green, but that'll come later on. Next might be a muffler delete, or I forget. I'll think about it. But yeah, hit subscribe and we'll see you next time. Peace.